All right. Welcome back, everybody. Zenith Online Racing back on the air. I'm Arbiga. Welcome to Season 5. ZOR entering Season 5 now. We are here in China for the preseason race. Uh, some races dropped off the calendar this season. Vietnam, China, Abu Dhabi, and Monaco will not be raced. We're going 18 rounds in Season 5. And China, one of the tracks left off, but unanimously voted in as the preseason track today. We got 14 guys here for qualifying. We may have another joining for the race. I think I'm going to have to adjust the audio because I've been streaming in party most of... Probably just bring that down a notch. Turn this up a bit. Okay, I think we'll be good. I don't know. Let me know if the audio's okay. I know a couple of people are tuned in already, so... Apologies. It's preseason. I'm not going to be perfect tonight anyway, but just replying to some messages. Yeah, let me know about the audio. We got a few guys out on the out lap here. I'll get that telemetry up. Check out what tire everybody is on. So yeah, Tier 1 relatively unchanged. We got a team change for Packer now races QVR, whatever that means. We got Mr. Joshua repping the ZOR. A few new drivers. Dauntless in there with a seat now. T. Woody is a reserve. I think he would pick. I was drinking on a Friday night racing, and T. Woody popped in my stream and ended up joining our league. So now he's out on track. Very quick driver. T Money still in Tier 1. Puff Digital, the ex-commentator, has made it back into Tier 1. The former Tier 1 champion 2 seasons ago. Season 3, well, really Season 1 and 2 and 3, I think, he was the champion. Very quick driver. Making his way into Tier 1 now. Still rocking the Ferrari colors like that. Not ready to let it go. Hanging on to the glory of the constructors. How's it going, Maverick? How's the audio sound and everything sound good? I haven't done a broadcast out of the party in ages, so it's hard to know. Yeah, Puff Digital. Ready to start his hot lap. Let's give Puff some airtime. This is a bit of favoritism, I have to admit, but Puff Digital returns to Tier 1 in the Renault seat. Let's ride on board. Looking nice and smooth on the entry into the long, complex Turn 1 is. And it's a quick left-hander at the bottom of the hill here. Very easy to get it wrong here. You want to get a nice apex. Get on the throttle nice and early, short this corner. Does well there. Now clipping along this little straight. A bit of a kink in the road. And on the brakes around the 50-meter board. Gets that geared down nicely. Looking really smooth here. Puff loves China, one of his best tracks. So I'll be surprised if this is a pretty good time he puts up. Just a slight downshift there for traction. Hooks it up, kisses that inside curb, gets a little loose but holds it nicely, locks up into the next corner, but overall carrying very good pace through Sector 2, and it's a 51.4, it's purple again, I'm not sure if that's accurate, but JXW sets a 34.8, goes on to provisional pole. Again, preseason race, none of this counts, but these guys want to get out here and race and scout out the competition. Puff going to get a nice tow here from that car ahead. And they're both going to have to get out of the way here. Dauntless out of the way. Ryan's just sitting in front. Puff, a little hesitant turning in there. Just a bit early and had to release and go at it again. Perfect turn in there. Rides the curb nicely. Keeps it on the track. Well done, Puff. That's a 31.3 from Puff. That's a great lap time. Wow, he's 1.6 up on Ryan, way up on JXW. So JXW obviously had some issues there, but nice lap from Puff. Looking good on his Tier 1 return. Buzz going extremely slow, letting the Ferrari of Matthew Dernier through. I'm going to have to go through the roster for you at some point. Make sure. Okay, I'm glad it sounds good. Make sure we know what everybody's racing for the season, who's a full-time, who's not. Be important stuff. Stick on with Dernier here, making his way down the back straight now, right on the shoulder. The Ferrari, formerly occupied by Doth and Zeig, now Dernier and Joshua. Moving on up. Or down, depending on how you view this. Dernier with that nice white helmet, though, and the Ferrari looks really slick with the number white as well. Hooks it up, and heading to the line now. It's a 31.6, so he's behind Puff, 3/10 actually. That's a good lap from Puff here early in qualifying. Nice to see. Mr. Joshua with a 34.4. Chinese GP. Why are you saying that? Did I forget? Did I mess the title up? Hang on. China GP. Chinese GP, I guess I should have put, I don't know, I always just put the country and then GP. Like Canada Grand Prix or China Grand Prix. I don't think someone off the road here that's going to really mess with Puff. You just can't. Or sorry, that's Joshua. I was thinking Puff because of the Ferrari. Wow. See how distracted I was there trying to commentate still. But anyway, Joshua definitely going to be, and he runs wide there, so distracted by his teammate through a very tricky corner. That's the kind of place you want to hang it, and you do worry about the guy on the outside there. So if you lose the car a little bit, you're likely to drift into your teammate. And Dauntless has edged out Puff here by about 200ths. So that's a nice lap from Dauntless in his debut. He's teamed up with Ryan here. I think Dauntless may be a reserve driver, though. I'll have to check on that. DXW getting a nice clean lap on the board here. What kind of time can he set? It's a 31.3. He lifted out of that. He beat Puff by 1,000 lifted. I don't know if he wanted to put that time up. Hard to say. But, yeah, looking competitive here at the early stages of qualifying. Everybody relatively close. Mr. Joshua looks like he's got it turned down. He's definitely not on a run now. What about Maverick making his debut in Tier 1? The Tier 2 champion Maverick has invalidated this lap. It doesn't look like this one counts. Or he's not pushing yet. Yeah, looks like he's getting the tires going. So, see if he's getting on board. Maybe he is heading into the pits, perhaps. Turned it down just to go pit, perhaps. Let's check. Let's see. Yeah, he's heading in. He's going to get new tires. Don't blame him. Zenith here with a purple sector in Sector 1. Making his return to Tier 1 in the Mercedes seat. Left for Tier 2 last season. Got up to pace without the assist. Not sure if he's got them back on now or not, but he was getting pretty quick for Tier 2 anyway. I'm not surprised he's up here. If you don't know, new viewer, we do sort the tiers by pace. Combination of time trial times and a race evaluation. And they seed the drivers appropriately, relatively unchanged. Nothing too dramatic. I mean, Puff sliding into Tier 1, I think fairly reasonable. Maverick wins the title. Scavney stays down in Tier 2. And I think the Puff time trial qualifying pace is sort of what's putting him there. He just really needs to Zenith onto provisional pole. Nice lap there from Zenith. Really close times for how long this lap is, I have to say. It's a minute 30. And we've got a bunch of guys within tenths of each other. Whoa, someone's gone around back there. It's a Haas car. That must be Woody. It is. Our good friend Woody came in on a drunken 5-lapper night. He's just getting it turned around here. A little bit of Austin Powers action, trying to get that thing spun around, but he's off again, and when he gets back around and into the pits so he can swap for a new set of tires. Beck staying in Tier 1 here. I have to say, it's something I've been saying all last season. He's very, very quick, so it obviously makes sense that he's in Tier 1, but if you went on the championship standings, he'd likely have been a threat of demotion. It's spin it or win it with Beck. Very fast driver, though, so he always keeps it exciting and always capable of a good qualifying lap. Just slides in behind Puff there, but he is on the medium, so running a better strategy overall. If he can get into the top 7 or 8 with that medium tire, he'll be in a good spot. Comes T-Money across the line, 31.3 for T-Money. Edges out Beck on the medium, so that's a nice lap from T-Money as well. We got Durnia heading into the pits. Everybody else finishing up a lap here. This is Ryan. Looks like he is pushing. Let's see what he can do. We're a little bit wide there on the entry. Just trying to get on the throttle as early as possible. Could pay off here. I'll get used to it pretty quick, my friend. I think like after a race I'll be used to it. I really cue on the names on the left, so that's more important than the car they're in, sort of, if that makes sense. Ryan into 7th, so Puff's still hanging on to 4th, but he is on the softs. He's going to want to get out there on the mediums, I feel, and try and improve on that time. Now, it looks like he is out on a set of softs again, just going for it. And he's gone purple again, it says, so let's check in with Puff here, see how he does. Currently 4th, very close. He just has to improve that time, and he could very well be on provisional pole. Let's see if he can do it here. Car getting out of the way nicely. Big lockup, but he's not really going to lose any time from that. Kept the car sturdy and planted. Let's see if we can hook it up through this final turn. Oh, a little deep. And he runs wide. Oh, no. It would have been a 35. Yeesh. That's ahead of Packer. That would have been a very nice lap from Puff. Unfortunate that he ran a bit wide there. But yeah, that was there for Puff. He's just got to nail that next one. And Jinnit with a stormer, 30.2 up onto provisional pole. Note, Packer is on the medium tire, though, so that would explain why he is not sitting at the top. Fully expect him to be sitting atop the standings again. He's got some more competition this year, so we'll see if someone can dethrone him. But made the move to Racing Point for this year, still carrying the number 28, though. It's going to be weird seeing Maverick in Tier 1, I'll say that. It's a name. I've sort of trained myself to ignore Maverick in Tier 1 because he's always reserving. But I kind of need to pay attention to him now. He's actually caught the curve there. Looks like he's had a bit of a bobble on the exit, which is going to cost him a lot of time. But yeah, Maverick into Tier 1 now, so we'll get on board for a hot lap with Maverick at some point. Got one of the Alphas waiting to get into the garage. Here comes Puff again. Another invalidation. Or is this just his out lap, or his in lap invalidating? Yeah. I think Puff needs to go out on the softs again and try and go get that pole. Goes Maverick. Up into 3rd there, 30.7, so that's a nice lap for Maverick. Slotting in nicely into the competition here, right away in Tier 1, which is something we suspected. He did always feel like he was just a cut above the rest in Tier 2. Very tough to beat. It would take a bunch of errors for you to beat him. Or maybe an error on his part. Trying a move he had no business completing. But yeah, it was fun regardless. I really thought I was out at that moment. I thought I was going to crash and be done, but kept it alive. That was quite the incident we had there at the end of the season. Maverick heading in. Do we got anybody on a flyer right now? Maverick is heading in. GXW. GXW looks like he's on a flyer. Let's stick with him. We got a Ferrari just ahead of him. Joshua's out on 5-lap old tires, so I just wanted to get a feel for the track, I guess. It is Durnia just ahead of JXW there. We have a lockup. He's on the mediums though as well. $31.4 for Dernia, so not going to be good enough. 31.6 for JXW, doesn't really improve. He's sitting in 5th currently, so Puff's gone out on the mediums. So we'll get on board with him for his medium run, see how he does there. Buzz on an outlap on the mediums. So let's kind of get the order here. We got Puff first, I think. Then Fuzz behind. Dernia is already out on track, so he's going to slow down and looks like he's going for another run. Everybody else in the pits currently, they really need to get on with it. It's a pretty long lap here. JXW out of fuel? Yeah, it looks like he might be out of fuel. Or he's just really trying to save it for a final run. Not too sure what's going on there. So Puff first, then Fuzz, then Ryan. And it looks like we've got Maverick. Maverick and Woody very close on track. Maverick trying to go around Woody now, wants to get ahead here. Anyway, let's get back to Puff. He started his hot lap, then we'll get to Fuzz next. Then I believe it was Ryan. And then, yeah. Anyway, Puff. I think he was down in Sector 1, so that's not going to be good. I want to find some more time on these mediums. A little hesitant there, just probably couldn't feel the grip. The harder compound here. Ah, he's invalidated. He's run wide there. He does have time to get another lap in, though, I think. He's just about giving himself enough here. Let's check in with Fuzz on the mediums as well. Everybody going for the mediums here. Making his way down the back straight. Very long straight here. DRS wide open. Mr. Fazale in the McLaren. See what he can do here. Currently 12th. Really needs a proper lap on the board. And he invalidates it. Oh no. So Fuzz doesn't get a lap in. He's going to be starting just outside the top 10 though. Camden in 14th out of the session. Did he crash? We must have missed that. Oh, who's this? Ryan has gone round. Where on earth did he lose that? I guess on the exit of the hairpin there. That was quite a spin. I just looked at the chat for a second and then Ryan's gone round. Anyways, back to the hot laps. Maverick making his way around. And I believe it will be Woody just behind him. Maverick keeps it on the track. Looking quick here. This could be a good lap. 30.5 up into second. That's an excellent qualifying performance for his debut in Tier 1. Great stuff. Woody onto provisional pole. Great lap from him. 130.1. That's going to be tough to beat. Here comes Puff. Nah, he's not pushing. Must have not had the fuel or something. Anybody else out there still? We got somebody about to cross the line. It was Puff, I believe. That's Ryan. Fuzz, he's done. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for qualifying. Alright, so Jinnit takes pole. How about that? He should turn those assists back off. But I'm sure he'll take that. Gotta be feeling pretty good. Or, I mean, if he's got them off still, then that's really impressive. But I mean, if you think about how good he was doing without the assist, like, or without the line, and if it's got it back on now, like, I'm not surprised. Sneaks pole out there. Woody tucks in second. Maverick, great debut. He's up into third. He's ahead of the Tier 1 champion Packer, so that's interesting. Dauntless qualifies fifth. JXW sixth. Puff Digital seventh. Puff has the pace, though. He was looking really good there. Just didn't really get the lap on the board. T-Money is in 8th. Beck is 9th. Ryan will take 10th. Matthew Durnia in 11th. He's going to have tire choice, as well as Mr. Joshua, Fuzz, and Camden. So Camden starting 14th. No time, but still 14th, which isn't terrible for no time. All right. If we get some gaps in the race, we'll try to get the roster out for you, but we can always go over that next week. Once we get everything a little more finalized. Get a second guy in here, we can always get him to throw to that while I'm doing something else. But I do take a quick break here before the race starts. It'll be about a minute or two. The race director will give the go, so if anybody readies up early, they get a penalty for that. Something we just want to give people a chance to use the washroom or, you know, whatever they got to do. Check their phone, whatever. Get the strategy figured out. Communicate with their teammate. All that good stuff. And all we're asking is a minute or two, so people just can't hit that ready up. Comes natural though if you do a lot of racing. Like, sometimes you just get used to just spamming it every time you see it. Probably go through the roster real quick here. So Alfa Romeo, we got Ryan and Dauntless. AlphaTauri, we got T-Money and JXW. Ferraris, Matthew Durnia, Joshua. Haas will be Charlie and that one Porchy dude, I guess, is what it says. But someone's reserving Woody's there tonight. Fuzz in the McLaren with Beck. Jinnit in the Mercedes with Infamous. QVR Packer in the Racing Point with Camden. Axton in the Red Bull with Samoglis. That'll be a good team, actually. Doth Thou Hoist and Puff in the Renault. And then Maverick in the Williams with Excel Lando, who we expect to be a very pacey driver here. So that could be a really strong team. See how Maverick's doing early here in the qualifying session. Very good lap. See if he can convert in the race here, get a podium. That would be a hell of a debut, whether it's preseason or not. And we'll see what Puff can do, see if he can do any damage from 7th. He definitely had the pace. I think he can definitely race here, get some overtaking done. Just about to get the formation lap underway. I need to refill my wine. Gotta keep that whistle wet. Helps with the voice when you're commentating. That's what I tell myself anyway. Hey, about the weather. Always rains in China. Watch out, Ben. Alright. So, Jinnit on pole. Pretty triumphant return. I don't care for the telemetry too much. We'll just leave that off for now. It's Jinnit on pole. Woody in second. He's reserving in the Haas car. Maverick in third. Great run from him. Packer in fourth, so he's got some work to do. Dauntless going to be right on Packer's tail. JXW sitting in sixth. Puff Digital right on him. T-Money just behind. Beck sitting in ninth, and then Ryan rounds out the top 10. Let's take a look at those tires. So we got Packer on mediums, T-Money on mediums, and Beck on mediums. So Puff, lowest of the soft runners, but Ryan 10th on the softs, which is my specialty. Dernia starts on the soft, surprisingly, despite it being P11. I think that's a bit of a mistake. Joshua goes on the mediums. Fuzz on the hard tire, so he's looking to go long here. Hopefully doesn't break his wing on the first lap. Camden on the mediums as well, so I think that's probably an okay strategy. I think really the medium or the hard outside the top 10 is a great idea here. Really gives you a bunch of options. We know Dernia though. Probably is going to go soft mediums, what they do. But Jinnit just about taking the grid slot already. The rest of the field way behind. His tires are going to be getting cold for a little while here. Might just turn that up a notch just to make sure the audio sounds good for the race. All right, the grid is reformed. It's Season 5 of Zenith Online Racing. It's the Preseason Grand Prix here at China. We're ready to go. Jinnit on pole, Woody in second, Maverick in third in his debut. We've got 3, 4, all 5 lights on. And they're off. Looks like a very good start there for Woody. Yes, he's away well. He's alongside Jinnit here. Very tricky turn one. Let's see if we got some contact. We got a little bit of contact in the back, but everybody seems to be okay. Keeping it right. Bit of wobbling here. Puff Digital has lost some places, so maybe involved in the contact there. Somebody off the road that looks like Ryan in the Alpha. Everybody getting through relatively unscathed, though it seems. It looks like Camden taking a peek on Fuzz here early. Sends it deep. Oh, Fuzz nearly loses the wing that I mentioned. Good job avoiding that. It's worth it, I think, to lose that place and save that wing. Here comes T-Money. Taking a look at Dernia here around the outside. T-Money. No, cannot get it done. Let's get back to the front here. Jinnit with a bit of a cushion now. Nothing too major. Packer right on Woody, though. Absolutely. Oh, the McLaren's out. That's Beck. Oh, man. Classic Beck. Beck is out of the race. As soon as I looked at the charts, I saw Beck, and I was like, yeah. But Beck is out. I could easily draw a safety car. That was a monster crash. Not a usual place that you would see a crash. I wonder if that was maybe a bit of contact there. But there goes Woody trying to take a look at Packer here. That's given Jinnit a nice cushion here early. He is on the soft, though, so he's a bit disadvantaged in that sense. Oh, man, he spun it all right. Wow, crazy stuff. Not surprised, but no safety car there. I guess they maybe turned it off for the night just to get the race done quick. I'm not sure. Imagine it's pretty much all regular rules, though. We got Maverick trying to fight off Dauntless behind here. Woody. Oh, Woody under pressure. Actually, sorry, Dauntless under pressure. That's Dernia going down the inside on Dauntless. I don't know. That looked a little bit of a shove there from Dernia. I'm not sure that was a totally clean overtake, but I don't know if it's worth a penalty really either. It's kind of hard to say. But either way, Dauntless will not be yielding too nicely after that, I feel. Going to be a little bit annoyed by that move. So we'll see if Dauntless can make his way back. Dernia is starting to look really pacey here, though. Starting on those softs. Great idea from him. He's moved up the field a fair bit here. He's now closing on Maverick. Let's see if we can get a better angle here. We can't. Just right on board here with Dauntless. Dernia taking a look. He's down the inside. They're side by side here. Dernia uses up the road, but he leaves space for Maverick, and they're still side by side. Some great racing action here. Dernia around the outside. Maverick has to cut to stay on. Dernia runs wide, so a little bit of equal there, but Dernia ends up taking the place on that. I can't really say either driver both gained an advantage, so it's hard to say one should give a place back or anything along those lines. But regardless there, Dernia looking very racy here. He's made up a lot of ground already. Started in 11th on those soft tires, up into 4th now. Here comes Dauntless, sends it late down the inside, and he has to lock it up to keep it out of the... Oh, he's touched Maverick here, or has Maverick spun across the front of him? Maverick, I think Maverick may have just got on the throttle a little too hard there and spun the car. His wing is destroyed, and he still has half a lap to go here. This is going to be very bad news for Maverick. He's going to fall very far behind the field here. That's he's going to need a safety car to bring himself back into play, because he's got a really good group of guys racing ahead of him here. He's not going to gain much on them. Puff Digital sitting in 9th currently, kind of stuck in this train. Yeah, it looked like he did. It looked like he cut across Dernia's car there. Or Dauntless, perhaps, I mean. Anybody? No, really, it's just a bit of a train going on here. Everybody's very close together, though, so nice to see on lap 3 here. No one's really gotten away. We got Packer closing on Jinnen. He's bringing Woody, Dernia, Dauntless, not far off either, and then T-Money, JXW, Puff, Joshua, Camden. Look at this group. Some great racing so far here. It's a shame this doesn't count. Dauntless still being hounded by T-Money here. Not quite close enough. Dauntless sort of the cork in the bottle at the moment. Camden looking around down the inside here on Joshua. Now it's around the outside. And they did touch a bit, but Camden had to yield that. It was a pretty tricky place to try and move, especially offline. So Camden has to sit behind for the time being. T-Money still looking for a way through on Dauntless here. He's going to get that long DRS toe. So this could be T-Money's chance if he gets a good exit here. Cuts that corner a bit. Not sure he got dinged for that or not. But needs a really good exit here. And that DRS. See if he can get by Dauntless here. T-Money usually really good on his battery. Now would be the time to deploy, I feel. He isn't really using it. Just sort of getting away from JXW, though, so that works out well for him regardless. Joshua taking a look now. He's by Puff Digital. Sorry, it's Puff taking a look. Puff was 9th, so Puff trying to get by Mr. Joshua there, but the rivalry renewed from Tier 1 from 2 seasons ago. Joshua stole Puff's crown. Puff was then sent to rehab, ended up in Tier 2. It was just awful. He lost control. But he's on the comeback. No, I'm just kidding. Puff's fine. Just switched to the wheel, actually. And that's lost a lot of pace there. But he's slowly getting back to where he was. So, good to see him back in Tier 1. It'll be a pleasure to commentate on my good friend Racing. Always enjoyed Tier 1. Was a slice pretty much in the booth with me all last season, but now I'm going to get to watch him race almost every week, so it should be nice. This will be the first time we haven't raced together in all 4 seasons of Zenith. I'm just taking a season here, a little bit of a sabbatical. Could be a Hakkinen sabbatical, could be a Raikkonen sabbatical, who knows. Still here for the commentary, though. I really enjoy the commentary, so glad to be back for that. Camden closing on Puff. Not really able to get by, though. We do have some guys pitting here. I didn't notice that. Jinnen, JXW, and Maverick all pit. Well, Maverick, we knew pit. Puff has pit, so gonna cover off an undercut, perhaps. He's probably gonna go to the hard tire, I'd presume, unless he is two stopping. Yeah, he's going hard. Actually, soft to hard works well here, I think. Yeah, onto the hard tire, so he's going to try. I just don't know if the undercut, I mean, the softs really fall off, so an undercut on the hard is probably still doable, even though it is 2 compounds harder than the soft. I would imagine it's still doable. Dauntless now closing, or sorry, T-Money has got through. Dauntless still trying to hang on to him. And we've got Ryan hanging on to Camden here. So a little bit of gaps forming in the field now. That we've got the pit window opening, so we'll see how it all shakes out once everybody gets their stops done. For now, we'll try to stick with the best action we've got, and that's Ryan and Camden, and then Dauntless and T-Money. Dauntless is losing ground, though. Joshua closing on Dauntless. Not going to be close enough this time around, though. We've had a moment here. Ryan just got a bad exit, I suppose, because he should have been gaining on Camden there. Buzz on the hard is already making his way through. So Dauntless dives into the pits. Dernier's still out on the softs. He's definitely going to try to make that soft medium work, I think. Maybe soft medium? I don't know. At least he'll have better hards anyway. Dauntless comes out. JXW just behind JXW. So JXW gets ahead on that undercut. You know, he is on the mediums though. So Woody comes out on the hard tire. Puff 3.7 off Dauntless. Well ahead of Maverick still though. Puff's got some work to do. Who was pressuring him? That was Camden, I believe, right? Yeah. So really, it's about Camden pitting off the mediums though. So that's going to be a while. Puff just needs to kind of settle in and put in some laps here. And he's going to work his way up slowly but surely. Here comes T-Money looking around the outside on Dernier. Dernier trying to cover that off on the older softs. Just can't fight it back anymore. Comes Dernier trying to make a move back now. Excuse me. Throat's getting a little itchy. Done a lot of talking on the mic today. Dernier trying to hang on to T-Money here. Even though he's on those older softs. He's got his teammate Joshua coming through, who could probably give him a couple laps of tow, help him preserve some of that tire life while keeping a decent lap time up. And then who knows what he's going to pit onto. I suppose he's getting feedback from Joshua right now as well, letting him know how the mediums are holding for 7 laps. Can you consider taking the mediums to the end? Still a lot to play out here tonight before it's all said and done. See what tire he opts for. Stick with the action here. Camden closing on Joshua. Dernier goes to the mediums, so it's a long way to go on the mediums, about 19 laps, I think, including this boat lap. So yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but we'll see if he can do it. We've seen him do it before. Does he come out in comparison to Puff? Puff, about 3 seconds off Dernier. Looks like he just hasn't gotten comfortable on these hards yet. They're probably just coming up to temperature now. Got Dernier right on the back of Dauntless. Needs to get through quickly here. Dauntless on the hards. They're probably still not quite warmed up. I think Dernier will get these mediums working better than Dauntless will get those hards working. So we'll see if he can make his way through here. Right on the tail. Gonna have a great opportunity with the DRS here. Dauntless not quite for DRS ahead. Dernier around the outside. Dauntless tries to cover it off, but Dernier just sticks it there. Oh, and he fights it back. Dauntless somehow hangs on to the place. That is incredible stuff there. Dernier went down that inside and just went deep through the corner. Dauntless with that beautiful switchback fights it back. And this is a proper race for position because Dauntless, if he gets these hards working, you know, he's definitely got the tire life. So if he can keep Dernier behind, that will really, really benefit Dauntless' strategy. Dernier really needs through here, though. The medium tires, he needs to clear air if he wants these to work properly. Cannot afford to take life out of them racing. And unfortunately, he's stuck behind Dauntless, who is closing on JXW ahead. Could very well get DRS soon, so Dernier's strategy might not work out very well here. He can't find a way through. Riding on board with Dernier at the moment. We'll have to check that gap with Camden at the front here. Closing on Mr. Joshua. They're on the same tire strategy. Neither have pit yet. Joshua. Or sorry, Camden. You want to take a look. Joshua kind of just sits on the racing line, covers that off. Dernier now needs a really good exit here on Dauntless. See if he can fight this. Dauntless does not have the DRS yet. This is Dernier's best opportunity. He has to get through here. Sorry, his best opportunity was last lap, but I mean, it's a big opportunity and he needs to get through. And it's just, Dauntless is going to close on JXW. It looks like they're driving at the exact same pace unless the interval's just frozen at the moment. And Dernier, or JXW seem to be having some kind of timing issue. Relatively unchanged, that gap, though. Dernier trying to fight this. Camden hanging on. We got some penalties arriving now. Puff Digital with 3 seconds, and then Fuzz and Joshua also carrying penalties. Let's check what those are for. 3 seconds, all of them. Check the stops. Everybody from Jinnit down has pit. So the closest race that is on a pit stop strategy right now, on a the second stint, I should say. Dernier pressuring Dauntless here. So stick with this battle for now. Camden also still trying to get by Mr. Joshua here. He's very close. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a done deal for Camden. Joshua's used up that battery trying to fight, and he really can't do much now. So Camden down the inside, takes that place, the runner-up last season in the championship standings. JXW has made a mistake, it seems. Or it's Dauntless has made a mistake. Dauntless, sorry, Dauntless and Dernier were racing. Dernier has made it through, so something must have happened there. Some kind of incident. Dernier runs wide, trying to hang on to that place. Dernier picks up a penalty for that. So Dauntless has the place on time now. But Dernia's going to want to fight this back. He needs to clear air for his medium strategy. Let's see what he can do. Dauntless looking really solid here in his debut. I think he's going to be a contributing member here in Tier 1 to the brilliant racing action we see every week. So this is the second season of... Whoa, big wobble there for Dauntless. Perhaps just overheated these tires a little bit. He is starting to lose a bit of pace now on Dernia. And Woody is closing in behind Joshua, now looking to fight back at Camden. He's going to have the DRS. Looking like pretty good on the battery here, so it looks like a done deal for Joshua. He's back through. So these guys trading places here. It would be beneficial for somebody to pit here, I would imagine. If you're going medium just to hard, an undercut is going to pay off here, I think. These mediums are not going to be that much faster than a fresh set of hards. Packer is pit onto the hard tire. See where he comes out. He's behind Zenith. Well ahead of GXW though, so the race out front here between Zenith and Packer is on. Zenith on very old mediums here. He's going to struggle to keep Packer away. Zenith perhaps pitting again, maybe hedging his bets on the hards not lasting. See how that pans out for him. Maverick has retired. He's not in the pit lane. I guess he's just feeling like he's too far off the pace right now with that incident. A little far behind. Preseason race. Not really excellent qualifying, but just really didn't ever pan out in the race for him. Had that mistake where he lost the car, and it's the competition's tough in Tier 1. If you lose ground like that, it's very tough to get the time back and recover. So Camden and Joshua, second and third, still both stay out again. T-Money has pit. Definitely going to be going to the hard tire now. See where he comes out. Looks like GXW, his teammate is through. Dernia still hanging on there. To actually, sorry, Dernia has closed in on GXW. Dauntless trying to... Oh, there's contact! Dauntless has T-Money just down the inside on the cold hards. And he slid into Dauntless there. I don't think Dauntless really moved and pinched. It was just sort of he was on his line and T-Money drifted into him, it looked like. Fair enough. I mean, there's a reason it got dropped from the calendar, right? I like it, but I don't blame you. You know, like this was what would happen if I went into Tier 1 and I made a mistake like that. I'd never get back in there. Like I would never. So to me, it was like there's no point in even racing Tier 1, even if I'm available. Like it's just not going to be fun for me. You definitely have the pace though. The quality pace is there. Like that was a hell of a debut there. Third place in the first qualifying in Tier 1, like, that's a statement, I think. Pole would be just outstanding, but third is still really damn good. Puff even looked pretty good there, too, so I think you guys are going to do well. Dernia trying to find a way through. Camden and Joshua still battling here. Packer has caught up to Zenith, so we got some action brewing now. We got Ryan pressuring T-Money, who had that contact. Not sure if he picked up damage or just spun. So Zenith aided by that DRS from Fuzz ahead, who's on very old hards, but still has a bit of time before he needs to pit. Packer closing very quickly here. He's right on Zenith. It's almost inevitable here. Even with Zenith having DRS, he can't do anything. Packer, the pace is just outstanding. It's crazy how good the race pace is. His hard's not quite warmed up yet, so he's a little bit slippy at the moment, but just carrying a ton of speed. Camden still trying to find a way through on Joshua here, but has not. It's been a really epic battle at the front of the field here. They're just costing at this point. But yellow flag there looks like was Dauntless at the back. Not sure if he had contact maybe. So he was right in the mix. Junior not quite close enough. Camden still not close enough either. This guy's just sort of getting stuck at the moment. Camden maybe gonna try something into turn one. Does not look like it's on. They're both on pretty worn tires. I guess they can get to the they can get onto the softs now and go to the end though. So that's an interesting strategy they've run there. Jenna in the pits, going for another set of mediums. Is he going to get Fuzz? No. Is he going to get Puff? Just in front of Puff. So Puff now has someone to chase down, but he's on 10-lap old hards. Maybe we can get up there and get some of that slipstream. Dernier right on JXW now. Packers pretty much caught the front runners. JXW 13 seconds off, so JXW looking pretty solid here in the preseason race. Right in the mix. Comes Durnia. JXW just running out of that little defensive move just threw Durnia off long enough that he couldn't quite pick a line and nail it, so good call from JXW there. I think it was a legal defense in my opinion, and then he dives into the pits. Charge, you'll make quick work of them surely once he gets the opportunity. Camden, Joshua, who's going to blink first? I think they both need to get another lap up and then they can pit, because the softs will probably last 9 laps on low fuel. So they got about another lap to go, I think. Packer will be closing in, probably into DRS range right here. Camden picks up a penalty now as well, so that's going to hurt his bid. But if these two come out on softs, they could very well be fighting for the podium. Joshua 14 seconds behind them, so depending on how long the pit stop is, they could eat that time back up. And have T-Money, Ryan, and Fuzz, and Jinnit there to spoil the party. Jinnit could call pitting, I think, and probably now actually fight these guys if they come out on softs just ahead. There goes Packer. Makes quick work of that. Packer and Camden teammates, interesting to note. Pretty much got the constructors locked up if they carry their form from last season into season 5. Joshua finally pits and Camden follows him in, so neither guy going to get the really good spot here. A lot more pace than the other guys out there. Action. On the fresh softs, comes out just ahead of Fuzz. Fuzz under pressure from Jinnit here. Camden absolutely flying on these fresh softs. Pretty by Ryan. He's just behind Mr. Joshua. Lost a bit of time to him there, but Joshua has already caught up to T-Money into the podium places here. T-Money 4 seconds off the leader, Dernia in second, and then the leader 15 seconds ahead, Packer. So Dernia in reach. So second and third up for grabs here for Joshua and Camden, and I think they can easily get back there. Good strategy from those guys. Really, really well done. If they can secure a second and third after that, they should be really proud of themselves. So that's excellent execution there. While racing each other as well. So kudos to them. Mr. Joshua gets the place off T-Money. He is back on the podium on a fresh set of softs. That's got to feel good. Here comes Camden as well. Now closing on T-Money. Ryan, pressure and Fuzz. Jinnit just behind. Check in on that action. Either of these guys can do anything. Jinnit on the fresh mediums. Has he got enough to try and hang it on the inside here? No, he tucks it in. Jinnit with so much more grip at the moment, though. Just looking for a sneaky way through here on Ryan. Gets on that power a little earlier and with more traction could possibly just sneak by in an unusual corner. Camden down the inside. Ooh, T-Money closes the door there. I have to say that's on Camden. That was pretty optimistic. T-Money had every right to take that line. He's lucky it didn't come off worse, Camden. Mr. Joshua scampering off ahead. Eating time out of his teammate who will surely let him through. Into play into the DRS zone. And he's already on the soft tires, so it's going to be quick work for Camden here. He should get through, no problem. Unless he's used up that battery. He has. And it looks bad for Camden. The DRS be enough in the grip. He's probably got enough to just send it. And he does. T-Money fights it back nicely on these hards, but just doesn't have that exit speed. And Camden gets that place. Three cars behind. Fuzz, Jinnit, Ryan still very close together as well. So now we're going to keep an eye on Camden and Joshua and see how their pace charges. Let's get back to this battle with Fuzz leading Jinnit and Ryan. See how these guys are doing. All guys on pretty fresh tires. Ryan on the older hards, trying to hang on to it. drop there. Just hear the engine back. Oh, there comes Mr. Joshua. Zips by his Mr. U-turn, yeah. I almost called him Mr. Dernier qualifying as well, so I guess that's it wanted to come out one way or another. It finally did. But Matthew Dernier yielding to Mr. Joshua there to let him through and scamper off to the front. Virtual safety car. What has happened? Packer's pit. Has the virtual safety car come out after Packer has pit already? Because that is just absolutely brilliant. I think it was a good call from Packer because he had the gap and he's got the... Well, I mean, he's got the extra tire life, but he's got to get by Camden, Dernier, and Joshua now. He's got some work to do. But we know that fresh softs, he could be absolutely flying there. Puff pits. Nice, cheap pits. Ryan is retired. I believe he probably was the one that caused the BSC. Yeah, guys at the back, they're getting a cheap pit stop in. Puff 18 seconds behind GXW and T Woody. So let's get this race back on early. Green flag. We're racing again. So Packer, a bit of work to do now. We've got Joshua Paul Dernier letting Joshua through there because it's basically maybe Packer felt he was under threat there. But this is perfect. Dernier can play a bit of a blocker role and let Joshua scamper off now. Joshua has to absolutely put the hammer down and just go. Not for it and conserve. Packer will be threatening momentarily. Camden trying to get by already. Camden might even get a crack at this into turn one. Taking a look at the outside here. Packer is right in the mix all of a sudden as well. One defense and three. Camden trying to get by. Dernier struggling on these old mediums. Camden around the outside here. No, Dernier covers that off nicely. Just so much more grip. Camden surely is going to get through one way or another. But Dernier doing everything in his power to hold these guys up and give his teammate a cushion. Joshua needs to just capitalize at this moment. Put as many seconds as he can between these guys. It won't last long down the next straight. Camden could even get through here. This is going to be close. Camden, no, he sits back. Wants that DRS. And Packer right behind too. This could easily be a double overtake here. Let's see what they can do. Camden trying to hold it. Keep his teammate behind. Trying to play bottle here. Let Joshua build the gap. Have this covered. These two are fighting behind. Dernier's going to stay ahead. Packer around the outside. Dernier using all the track again. Oh my goodness, what a great move from Packer. He's made his way through. That was absolutely brilliant from Packer. Dernier couldn't do a damn thing to defend that, and it looked like he had covered them both. Dernier again with the switchback, though. Here he comes. Down the inside, and he gets the place back. And Packer doing everything in his power to try and get back ahead here. Dernier demanding some space. They're still side by side. Oh, they've touched! Dernier's off! Dernier nearly out of the race there. It's a miracle he didn't lose his wheel. Not want to yield in any shape or form to Packer, and they've made contact. I don't know about that one. I say that's probably a racing. I don't think Packer did anything egregious or dangerous there. It's just some damn good racing right there. Dernier, I salute you. It's unfortunate you ended up on that side of it, but thank you for giving us a scrap like that. That was epic. Absolutely stuff. Now Camden, see if he can do anything here to fight back against Packer. See if he can get back ahead of his team here. Doesn't want to cost him too much time. They're trying to get to Josh. behind. Nearly lost track of the action behind because getting so incredible out front. Bernia closing on JXW. He's got a lot of damage though. I don't think he's going to really be able to do much with that. He's losing ground. Puff is closing in. Be riding in the slipstream of Puff as well, so just checking with Puff. Looks like he's got this covered for now. So T Woody not quite getting through yet. He's been close for a few laps and hasn't found a way through. Jinnit fighting Fuzz here. Trying to get by. They're both on pretty even tires. And Dernia has pit. Obviously going to get a new wing. Not a bad decision. He's going to be well behind the rest of the field though. Still with a point though. Might as well finish this. All hypothetical point. Jinnit and Fuzz pressuring T-Money. We got Camden losing ground to Packer, who is closed in on Joshua. So we're going to have a fight for the lead momentarily. Let's model really quickly before we jump to the front. Fuzz trying to close here. T-Money doing well though. Maintaining that gap on these hard tires. Here we go. The battle out front is commencing. We've got another yellow flag. Not sure what that was for, but Packer is now within DRS range. So Packer versus Joshua, it's on. The most recent Tier 1 champions. Yeah, that move by Packer was sexy, I have to say. There's no denying it. Everyone watching that is rock hard. What do we do if it lasts 4 hours? We call the doctor, right? 911 or the doctor? Make an appointment. But yeah, incredible stuff there. Packer with a brilliant move, showing why he is the Season 4 champion. Looking to carry that momentum here into Season 5 with an excellent preseason race. Look at the exit speed. He's just got so much grip. And he's already by. Oh, just doesn't even care about the DRS. Absolutely sends it. And he's through. Packer into the lead here. Have DRS and the slipstream, though. It's almost a show of arrogance from Packer there. Fight DRS and the slipstream behind. Closing. Alongside now and sweeps back across. So maybe Packer should have just sat behind. You would suspect that he's got to get that back regardless, but some good stuff out here for the lead. The race on the line here with 2 laps to go. In the lead, Packer coming back though, and takes it into turn 1, sweeps it around the outside. And he's got a whole lap here to build the gap. Again, demanding that bit of a lockup, and Joshua does very well to lead for him there. Joshua, with that slip here, take a look. He's close to the center. He does. Out the inside. Very optimistic move. Packer leaves the space, but still gets a better exit. Let's check in on the penalties. Both 3 seconds, so they're dead even here. This is a proper race. Joshua going to have that slipstream here going into the final lap. This is going to be very, very important. Epic stuff here. Packer needs a great exit, which is something he's done handily many, many times. Can easily get the exit he needs, but here comes Mr. Joshua. Absolutely flying here with that DRS. Can Packer do anything to fight this back? Does not look like it. Joshua going for the outside here. They're side by side. Big lockup from Packer trying to defend that, but Joshua gets much more traction, and he's going to have the inside line to the next corner. He's surely going to take that line. He does. Great stuff from Mr. Joshua. Still side by side here. Packer trying to fight this back. They're going into the final lap here. It's going to be all to play for down the final run. Packer trying to fight it around the outside here. Can he do anything? Joshua's got the better grip on the inside line, and they touch wheel to wheel here. Wow, great stuff, Joshua, fighting this back. He's going to have that DRS. Oh, man, I wonder if one of them is going to try to give DRS to the other. Behind, we've got Jinnit and T-Money fighting as well, but we got to stay with this battle for the lead. Yeah, it's probably just the internet, honestly, if it's cutting in and out like that. It's just what happens. It's so much going on when you're broadcasting, you know? I should drop that quality. There we go. Mr. Joshua, he's still got that DRS. He's not as close to Packer this time, though. Took a bit of curb, and that's going to cost him some time. He's a second away, but he's going to get DRS still, I believe, because of the sensor. Does he get the DRS? No, he doesn't. Oh, he does get the DRS. My apologies. It is open. Here he comes. Looking to fight this. This is right down to the wire for the win here. Joshua around the outside. Packer defends it with a big lockup. Takes up all the track to fight that back. Packer keeps the place for the time being. Joshua is going to have to slot in behind. Joshua runs wide there. And that's it. Packer wins the Grand Prix. Joshua takes second. Great race from those two. Camden in third. T-Money fourth. That's Fuzz into fifth. Jinnit will bring it home in sixth. He did get by JXW there, who brings it home into seventh. Go. Jinnit into the wall. Loses the wheel. T-Woody. Puff right on his tail, though. Fought it right to the end there. So T-Woody takes eighth, and then Puff Digital in... Sorry, Puff takes eighth, actually. He's also crashed out. T-Woody with a couple more penalties, I guess. So T-Woody slots into ninth, and then Durnia well behind the field. Valiant effort to finish the race, though, in 10th place. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the mic. I think it's just the internet, man. Honestly, like, I got a wired connection, and it's still just... I think it just gets bogged down sometimes, and it drops the audio out. So, it could be my controller, actually. I'm using the shitty controller right now. And I think that actually cuts the mic out more. Probably not so much as my other controller. It's a brand new one, but I just needed to charge it, so. It's the way she goes. So Packer wins it. Very close race, though. Look at that. Joshua just under a second away. T-Money brings it home in third. Great effort there from T-Money to get a podium here in the preseason race. Camden in fourth. Fuzz fifth. GXW sixth. Jinnit seventh. Puff eighth. T-Woody ninth. Durnia 10th. And then the DNFs are Ryan, Dauntless, Maverick, and Beck. So only 14 guys showed up for preseason testing. 6 other guys are still on vacation. And that's going to do it. That's the preseason race at China. It's Tier 1. It's Season 5 now of Zenith Online Racing. Into Season 5. Next week, we go racing for real. It all counts. 8 p.m. We start with the United States Grand Prix, followed by Hungary, Baku, Austria, and then Brazil. That is the first 5 races of your season for Tier 1. February 8th, United States kicks things off, race 1, followed by Hungary, Azerbaijan, Austria, Brazil, and then Mexico. The first 6 races of the season. Mexico is race 6. 18 races this season, so a bit of a shorter championship. Every point is going to matter. Every result is going to matter. You're going to have to show up if you want to fight for a title here. You can't afford to miss a race when there's only 18. And that'll do it for your preseason race. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm Arbiga. I'll be back next week with the season debut. It'll be race 1, as I mentioned, in the United States. We should have a preseason race Thursday and Sunday for the EU tier as well. And then next week we get things rolling for real with the official start of Season 5. Hope to see you next time, 8 p.m. next week. United States Grand Prix, Season 5 gets underway. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night, everybody. Glad to have you here.